Hi, Lauren. How are you going?
Hey, Cher. Good to see you again.
Oh, good to see you. Always gorgeous. How's it over there today?
Here in Seattle, the weather was on and off, raining, storming, but still gorgeous. I love the weather out here. So it's been a really good day.
And what time is it over there today, Lauren? What time are we now over there?
Right now, we are 7 p.m. on a Friday evening. So you know that I'm just getting started for my night.
Well, that's it, Lauren. That's it. Well, here in Australia, it's like 1 o'clock. It's lunchtime. So, and it's been, I live out of Sydney, but it's been very wet here. We've got pouring rain. So it's a beautiful clearing for the earth. But yeah, lunchtime. So if you're all sitting down, having your lunch and having something nice to eat as well, watch us and come in and say hi to us. I'm in the Blue Mountains of Australia, so come in and say hi. Tell us what you're up to today. Well, Lauren and I, of course, start off again and talk a little bit about ourselves and what we do, because we so love talking about ourselves, let's be honest. So yes, I'll take the lead this time. So my name's Cher Slater. I'm an international Gothic psychic medium, Wiccan witch. I specialise also as a forensic medium. I've been able to connect with spirit my whole life, and as a Wiccan witch, I abide the law of three, which means no harm done to none or me. And as I was saying, I also specialise as a forensic medium, and doing that is where I've been able to assist clients whom they've lost their loved ones through suicide, missing persons, and death by misadventure. And really, that's my path and my passion. But honestly, connecting with spirit like Lauren, this is our absolute bliss. And to be able to sit here on a Saturday afternoon for us and a Friday night for Lauren is our absolute bliss and honour to be able to. So yes, please come in and say hi and let us know where you're from. And over to you, Lauren. And that's my website, cherslatermedium.com. So, yeah, come in and say hi. And Lauren will take over now and just talk about herself, which she also loves doing because she's awesome.
Lauren, you can call me whatever you
Lauren.
Want,
Sorry. That's the Aussie coming out, me calling Lauren Lozzie, but, that's just
it happens when you become good friends, right?
Yes.
We come up with little nicknames for each other.
We do.
I love the nickname you gave me. It's so cute. Actually, I'd never heard it before, so...
I know. Unique.
I love it.
It's unique like you, my darling. Unique like you.
Oh, thank you. So I myself am, I'd call myself an intuitive energy medicine practitioner specialist. So that means the intuitive part of it. I do intuitive readings, which includes psychic and mediumship readings as well, and cards, oracle, tarot. And my real passion is to provide universal source energy through my hands and direct it at the client. And as of right now, I'm still doing all my sessions distance through Zoom or chat or FaceTime, whatever the client prefers. Absolutely, we'll use that. And the distance Reiki and healing works just as well as being in person, and that's just the way it is. It's scientific, actually. It's been proven.
Yeah.
The ability to manipulate.
And I can, validate that because Lauren's done healing on me and we've done it over Zoom. So I can validate that. And it's the same as connecting with spirit. A lot of us do our readings and things over Zoom, and it's energy, but also spirit knows and spirit comes in as spirit's endless. So it is able to be done over those modalities as well.
Yeah, we can connect with the spirit guides of our client, even if our client is halfway across the world.
That's right. We connect. Spirit is endless. Spirit is everywhere. So that they connect in beautifully. And Lauren and I have done that for each other. And Lauren's in America and I'm here in Australia. And spirit is endless. They just come in all the time, and the healing as well with Lauren's energy, because energy goes around the world. Lauren and I not only heal each other and heal our clients, but we send it out universally, and it heals the world, and hence our magic coming in the afternoons and of the night time. And I just like to
absolutely, we're trying to hit all angles, this part of the hemisphere and your part of the hemisphere. We're really
we got it covered. I think we got it covered, Lozzie. I think we got it covered. I just want to say hello to a couple of people that have come in. Nikki and Carly and Michaela, thanks for joining us, you guys. Lovely to see you, and thank you for saying hi in the chat. We really appreciate
thank you so much. It's so nice to see you guys on our chat.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful. So,
and of course, we want to hear from you as the night goes on, day goes on, and we have little tidbits of information, but we really want to hear about what you guys feel and are feeling right now. So maybe we can address some of those concerns as well.
Yeah, but we'll try and address that. But of course, I must say that we won't be doing any private readings in this forum, because our readings that we do, or any questions that are intimate, we won't be answering in this forum. If you're wanting intimate questions answered, like when am I going to meet my, I don't know, next love, we won't be answering those questions. You'll need to book a reading with Lauren and I. I'm SherSlaterMedium.com and Lauren's LaurenApplewood.com. So we'd be happy to answer any of those questions or those intimate questions you have in those readings. And let me tell you, they are intimate. So yes, book a reading with us or book a session with Lauren.
And we really take our time to make sure that we are answering these questions in the best way possible, being able to use, our ability to connect.
Yes.
We have to take a moment to make sure that we're connecting. And so it's just so much better for these personal readings to be on your own personal time with us, one-on-one.
Yes.
It's an amazing growth experience for our clients, that's for sure. And we want to be able to give people answers to their concerns.
That's right. And we don't want it in a public forum, of course, because we don't want other people to know. It's completely confidential. When you come to us, it's like going to seeing, I don't know, a doctor or a priest. A therapist, really. Yes, it's completely confidential. And yes, so it needs to be treated with that respect. And we're very what's the word I'm thinking of, Laura? Ethical. We're very ethical that way. Yes, absolutely, 100%. So, yes.
So
anyway,
thank you, for reminding us and our audience about that, because I think they get that and they understand.
I think they get that and understand, but I like to reinforce it just in case any questions come along.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, which takes us to our beautiful topic tonight. Do you want me to talk a bit about Wicca before we start? I think I need to talk a little bit about Wicca, because I've told you a little bit that I'm a Wiccan witch, but I'll just tell you a little bit about Wicca because it's who I am. So I know it's a bit exciting. I love talking about myself.
It's exciting, and even I learn things as you're explaining.
You do, because witchcraft is nothing to be scared of, and we work from an unconditional love, our unconditional heart. So Wicca is a nature base. We worship the god and the goddess and follow the natural cycles of the earth. Not all witches are Wicca. We make up our own craft and from traditional practices such as herbalism, nature worship, divination, and spell work. And as I said, any spells as a Wiccan, they're just like an affirmation. We do them for ourselves. We certainly don't do any spells or anything on anybody else. We actually do it for ourselves and uplifting ourselves and almost like manifesting, but they're usually just affirmations for ourselves. And that's just a little bit about Wicca, which brings us to our subject tonight, doesn't it? About the witches. Really, if I was to go about witches and feminine, you want me to talk about that, or would you like to start, my darling?
Well, I just want to remind our viewers, we're talking today about the magical feminine, so the magic of the feminine energy and blessings from empowerment, so ways that we can continue to empower ourselves. And so what Cher's talking about is key to understanding the history of women, of witches and persecution. And I'm sure she'll explain witches are just basically like everyone else. They have special abilities and a way to connect with nature that just comes natural to them.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, us witches date back thousands of years, for as long as humans worship deities, really. And we cross independently and across several different cultures, across centuries. I mean, the first witch was Hecate, the goddess of magic and astrology. And I'll let you research Hecate, because we don't have enough time to go into things here. But basically, if you even think about the witch trials back in the 1550 to 1700, where the local government murdered 80,000 women who were thought to be witches at that time. That's the witch trials. So for these women who were just practicing their craft, whether it be, magic and astrology, or like myself as a psychic medium Wiccan witch, even here in Australia, and I was talking to Lauren about this earlier on today, I was saying even here in Australia, we weren't allowed to practice our craft in Queensland just recently, but as recent as 2001, we were not allowed to practice our craft. So as a Wiccan witch or a pagan witch or a witch, just to do our psychic mediumship readings and saying that we're a witch, there was a law in place in Queensland in 2001 that prevented us from doing that. So that's just as recent as that, which is just incredible, which I find. So
well, I find that fascinating. Were people still working in their craft, but we're trying to kind of skirt the law?
Yes, they were certainly still working in their craft, but it was very much hidden. So that's why now it's such a beautiful time to be able to come out, and for me as a witch to stand out and for all to see across the world is my absolute bliss, and how empowering that they was practicing that craft. We even had a lady here back in who passed away in 1979. Her name's Rosalind Norton. She was a neo-pagan witch, and she was an amazing Australian artist, and she led a coven of witches here in King's Cross. I think she was called the Witch of King's Cross, and she was incredible artist with a stoic beliefs, and visionary art, which reflected her unique approach to the magical universe. So, when you go back in time and think about these amazing women that have brought us to be able to come out as who we are, certainly that how empowering it is that. So
very,
very empowering. And you have your own story with that, Lauren.
I do. Actually, I have a story about my mother. And she's a woman that I have always looked up to incredibly. Like, wow, I wish I could be like her. Because so my mom grew up in a family that a lot of them were builders, construction workers, developers. And so it was kind of, she grew up knowing this information, and she thought to herself in the 70s, you know what? I think I can do this just as good as the men in the industry, if not better. And so she took the reins and created her own business, one of the first women-owned real estate development companies in the Pacific Northwest. And that was in 1979. And her success only grew from there. She fit into the world of the masculine energy. I believe she may have, she does have some masculine energy, which has allowed her to stay so strong in that industry as well. And what we'll talk about later, it's not just feminine empowerment, it's a balance.
No, it's balance.
Yeah. So she's still successful to this day with that work, and has only gotten more confident. And what's interesting is the more she put herself out there in her full truth and always spoke honestly and authentically about her intentions and what she was doing, it actually gained the respect of the men around her. And she also brought feminine qualities into the environment, like intuition, making decisions off of those gut feelings and intuitions, and the creativity, that comes naturally to us. And so I think that's what has caused a lot of success. Now, not all women or those with the feminine energy are entrepreneurs or are able to put themselves out like that. But there's always situations where we can practice building mastery and building confidence, which gives us that confidence to go to the next level.
It's quite transformational, and your mother did it so beautifully, even back in the 70s, and you continue to do that through you, Lauren. Your mother was a beautiful inspiration there for you, and so integral in your world to teach you those qualities, which now you're teaching the world, of course. So, and the intuitive side of you and everything. So you're very much like your mum, and you are, you have a beautiful feminine energy as well as your masculine. And we must talk about the feminine and the masculine energy. And we're not just talking about women either, because there are, when we're talking about feminine magic, it's also for, guys and men, and because we need to have that balance between the feminine and the masculine energy, whether you're male or female. We're just highlighting a bit of the feminine stuff tonight, and we do talk about the women, but we also don't want to disregard the men as well, because there is that balance. You've got to have a balance within all of us, and we have to have masculine energy as well. As a woman, we need that in balance.
Oh, it's important to understand what the masculine idea of power is and what the feminine idea of power is. And, in our modern world today, the masculine definition is more of stuff like achievement, competition, financial resources, progress, my net worth, just keep going up and up and up the ladder. And also physical strength is very masculine.
Could also be ego as well. A lot of masculine energy is ego, as you said, the financial side of things as well. So yes, there is that. And we all have those qualities, whether you're a woman. We do have that masculine energy in as well. So that's the beautiful balance, as well as now the feminine energy.
Yeah, we do have, I have a lot of these qualities in me, or as things that I aspire to continue to have, which is progress being one of them, is important in my life. Right?
I mean, progress is important for everybody's life, but yes.
Yeah. So feminine qualities are more on the side of our natural innate intuition, our natural ability to care for others, to create community, to even care for children. Bear children is some would say a superpower, because we are the life-giving force here on earth. And
but in saying that, we need that masculine, don't we, to bear that fruit, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So
we
need the masculine. Do it alone.
We can't do that stuff alone. So it is the masculine that we need to bear that fruit and to be able to have the children that we have. So yeah.
Absolutely. And some men are actually more natural caretakers and empathetic. I happen to have a really good friend who would prefer to be a stay-at-home dad. And that doesn't, to me, take away any of his masculine qualities. It actually shows me that he has quite a good balance going.
We love that. We all want men in our realms that are divinely balanced that way, right? Have the feminine and the masculine energy in balance.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, and it's important to have that, and to be confident in your masculine qualities and your feminine qualities, and it just makes you a more self-actualized person to be able to say it out loud. You know, I've had to, I have desires to be professional woman, you know, but I also have desires to be caring, loving, caretaking, and stuff like that. So again, balance of masculine and feminine.
Yeah, that's right, Lauren. And let's talk a bit about that and how we work, how you and I work with clients and with people about that. I mean, I can talk about the feminine magic, which is very much what I do. So I'll just talk a little bit about how I work. So when I'm talking about the feminine magic, I'm talking about the magic I'm talking about is not illusions or entertainment. It's not about casting spells. The magic's about transforming yourself. The very heart of magic is the understanding of you, that you are a powerful creatrix, which is women, feminine energy connected to herself, feminine energy and the feminine source of creative power. The urge is primal. It creates longing and desire. The magic is about reconnecting with your creative core, the creative spirit, and living in that space every day. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, you get the boot up the bum you deserve from me with my unconditional love and heart. And as I'm saying, this all sounds easy. But it's not, right? The problem is we're human. And the human experience is to develop a whole set of mechanisms designed to protect ourselves from getting it, right, Lauren? So the belief that we're not enough, we're unloved, we can't trust the world, the idea that there isn't enough money nor time, and lack of awareness, not knowing what you really want. You know, Lauren and I speak about this all the time, not really knowing what you really want. And feeling like you have to follow someone else's plan. Like, really?
Yeah,
you know what?
Easy.
But we've all been there. Lauren and I were speaking about that the other week. We've all been there, you know, and being taken out of your feminine by pushing and striving to overachieve, you know, putting the pressure on yourself, you know, those sort of situations and all these things that come between you and manifesting your true desires are an illusion, really. And I can keep going on, but I'll let Lauren also talk about that because she's got some, magical ways that she works. But the magic for me is the path of breaking free of the illusions and separating and realizing that you are whole, complete, powerful creator in partnership with the divine and source. And magic is the art of causing changes in the consciousness in conformity with the will, which is so important, like just and this is what Lauren and I do. And there's no question that manifesting is the fun stuff, but in order to manifest your higher calling, the big stuff, the really big stuff, your higher calling, you have to actually go deeper, break free of your old beliefs, transcend unconscious patterns, and stop living your life on autopilot.
Ooh.
Autopilot, because the feminine magic is so powerfully empowering. It brings you to all that you do and so much more. So much more. Okay,
That's
Lauren.
Beautiful.
I've had a great speech. I'll get off my little soapbox now, but that's basically how I work. And I'll let Lauren now talk about how she works because her magic is just as incredible as mine.
Oh, absolutely. When Cher has some amazing magic, and the boot up the butt is always with full love and compassion and an understanding. You don't have to follow what we say. It's your journey. It's your journey, but we'll tell you what we see and give you those options.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so you did say something there that made a good point, which was sometimes we don't really know what we want in life. And
No.
then what that causes is we become prey to all the people around us and their ideas of success. And then we start comparing ourselves to these other versions of happiness and success and think, well, gee, why am I not there? Why don't I feel the same drive to work a 9-to-5 job like my friend does, you know? And that's where she feels empowered. I personally did not. I felt disempowered at a job like that. So going back to not really knowing what we want, the first step really to becoming or feeling more in your feminine power and empowered as a female or someone with feminine energy is to put yourself first. And that means putting self-care and self-love first, because you're not going to feel fully empowered or confident until you've healed some aspects of yourself that you're continuing to carry forward into your daily life that is preventing you from moving forward. And it's usually these, you know, negative thought patterns that have really started in childhood. Society has made it worse, and then some of our experiences have made it worse, like the way we used to look at things. Way I used to look at things was, if I screwed up, I'd say, oh, of course I screwed up. I'm such an idiot. Of course, I'm so stupid. How could I, you know, do these things? And you do not want to talk to yourself that way. You want to talk to yourself the way, you know, like your best friend Cher and I talk to each other.
Yeah, and like we say all the time, remember we say, and it is that self-talk that gets in your head. And, you know, I raise this every week, you know, I say the same thing every week. It is about the self-love, and it's the self-love of you, and whether you need to stand in front of that mirror, and I'm going to bring it out, Lauren. I'm bringing out the mirror. I know, it's kind of cute, isn't it? My little gothic mirror. And if you need to stand in front of the mirror and say, I'm worthy of unconditional love, I send unconditional love.
Yes.
I only want unconditional love. I only accept unconditional love, and I send unconditional love, for there I am unconditional love. If you can get your mirror out like I do every day and look at yourself and do that every day, that's the first step in empowering you. And Lauren and I, you know, are here doing these feeds because it is all about self-love, and we are so very passionate, hence my red today, because it's a bit dreary outside. I've decided to wear a bit of red today, Lauren, for the passion.
Yes, the passion of us. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Blessed be, that's right, Jen, thank you. Blessed be for that, because we are so very passionate about what we do, Lauren and I, and the self-love of you. And by us talking about ourselves and coming on here, you know, for us in Australia every Saturday afternoon, and you of an evening, Lauren, every Friday evening, just to send a little bit of our love out to all of you, and to empower you in your own self-love. That's our magic, and is our bliss, really, isn't it, Lauren?
It is. And sharing our own personal experiences, I think, is really powerful on how we have conquered some of those feelings of self-doubt, because I feel like the more that I worked on healing myself, and actually, okay, so what showed me that I needed healing was my behavior and my behavior towards others.
Yes.
And I realized after a while it was causing me a lot of pain and like unnecessary issues in my life. And I realized, whoa, it's actually me who's doing it. It's not this person who treated me wrong. It's not that person who did, you know, whatever to me. It's my interpretation and my story that I write around these incidences that have actually ended up serving me wrong in life. Because, and you know, we're just children often when these things happen.
Yes.
And of course, a child is going to go into, oh my God, I'm not good enough. What did I do? And these not good enough feelings really really carry on throughout the rest of our lives. And so, like I said, it was the outward behaviors that I was starting to exhibit that showed me I have to address something here, or else I'm going to continue down a path that I don't really want to go down on. And it was a disempowered path where I felt just everyone else's ideas of what I should do were overwhelming me and my ideas. And so just to sum it up real quick, I went through quite a healing process, went through a lot of counseling, skills training on how to deal with emotions, mindfulness training. And it was a life-changing experience, but I've done more healing as well through other modalities that have been even more effective at obliterating those negative thought patterns about myself. But once those are gone, you have to replace it with something new, so that you can create your new reality.
That's right. A lot of us bring a lot of stuff from our childhood, Lauren, and then it comes up into the adulthood and we're still carrying that bloody heavy bag. Like I talk about this all the time, as kids, we're so impressionable as children, and sometimes it can be just something, or it could be something else that has happened, trauma or something like that we haven't resolved, and therefore it keeps coming up, and it keeps coming up into adulthood. And then you're reaching out to us, which is amazing, and we can help you through that path. We are psychic mediums, and if we can assist you, and Lauren's a beautiful energetic healer as well, if we can help you on any of those things, we try and get to your core, which we do. We will get to your core, but certainly if there's anything professional that you need, any professional medical things like that, we won't. We're not trained as, we're not doctors, but certainly, there are a lot of things that we bring from childhood, and I've done the same. We've brought things up into the adult situation, and they do come up, and they do come into your relationships and people you meet, and people cross your path for a reason and come into your circle for a reason, and there's the blessings, you do get the little wake up calls, and sometimes it does manifest into the physical if we don't get onto it. Lauren and I have spoken about as well, so because it does manifest into the physical.
Very good point. And yes. To bump off of that, I have a lot of experience with the manifestation of emotions and thought patterns into the body. And so it just kind of brings me to wanting to just chat a little bit about what's called embodiment practices.
Yes.
I feel this is almost, well, for me, it is the number one way to start your healing journey. Basically, embodiment practices is bringing the awareness and connection from your head, your brain, into the body. And so being aware of what anger feels like and sitting with it. What does it feel like? Where are you feeling it? What does sadness feel like? Where are you feeling that sadness in your body? And believe me, I was one of those people who did not want to address any of these feelings because I had repressed them for so long because they were so intense due to life experiences. The feelings were almost, I was unable to deal with it, and I became detached from my body. And I'm still going through a learning process as to really, really fully being aware of what is going on in my body and why. And so those would be like just subtle feelings, feelings of intuition, and a few examples of embodiment practices. Just to give you a quick example is breath exercises and being aware, is your breath shallow or is it full right now? Is it relaxed or is it tense? What does softening the belly, softening the body feel like and do for your breath? Movement practices are another really great way to bring that awareness back into your body. And that doesn't mean going for a run. That doesn't mean, 45 minutes on a treadmill. What it means is actually subtle movement. Some of my favorite practices of that are Qigong, of course.
Yes.
Tai Chi, and you guys, if you're not familiar with those terms, please look them up online. It would just take way too much time for me to explain the amazing benefits of these practices. But, you know, also dancing, just allowing yourself to move freely, free with the sound and the energy that you're feeling. And there's actually YouTube videos that will help you to do this and guide you, because, hey, I haven't been able to do all this on my own. I've had to do a lot of research
and a lot of work on yourself. The same as me. You know, both Lauren and I have done the work on ourselves so that we can teach you, and we know that it works because we're really the essence of the work that we've done on ourselves, really. You know,
we are the essence, because here we are coming out the other side, and now I feel, and just like I know you do, fully embodied in who you are, your passions, your gifts. I mean, we all have gifts and qualities that are unique that we offer the world, and it's about embracing those qualities and moving forward with it, sharing them with the world. And that's the magic, isn't it?
Well, the magic is crafted deep from within. It's filled with intent. This is my little saying I've got, right? So just excuse me while I sat with spirit and got this. So magic is crafted deep from within, filled with intent and a powerful spin, sent out to return as it should be by the will of the witch. Sorry. So mote it be. So we're putting it in, we're setting the intention and sending it out. But
intention's very important, which is like
deep within, isn't it, Lauren? Like it's in our core.
The magic is deep within us. It is actually nowhere else. We have the ability to harness all this beautiful energy around us that's actually waiting to be used, and waiting to be used in a healing way. It's just such a beautiful thing. These embodiment practices are really about becoming a whole person, and to reclaim your sensitivities as a woman. We are naturally more sensitive than men. We give many examples of this, you know, but it's true. And you want to, so many of us live cut off from our bodies because we don't want to feel it. But the real power comes from understanding and feeling these little subtle sensitivities inside of you. And then you're able to make more conscious and rational choices in your life, rather, like you said, moving on autopilot.
That's right. Yes, the desire to manifest is a framework on how us humans on this plane create real change, a roadmap for facilitating transformation and achieving goals. By understanding this, you'll be able to see exactly where you are in the process. Because with no framework, it's no use on its own. So you have to dive in deep into the energetic and practice tools for transformation. And I know that Lauren and I do this. So we do this in our readings, and we do this in our with our clients when it's individual readings. We're transformational that way, but it's for your highest good. We only want this, you know, to pass what we have on to you for your highest good. And Lauren, do you know Jen? Jen's just come in.
I do. I wanted to mention. I just wanted to thank.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to thank
Jen because she said some amazing comments in the chat. So I'd love you to talk about that, please.
Sure. I met Jen in Arizona when I moved there briefly for a job. The job didn't work out. I did end up coming back home, but I met some amazing, amazing people while I was down there. And Jen is one woman who we were like soul sisters, just connected immediately. And I'm just so thankful that she feels she has learned to love herself through me and my examples, and actually just living my life every day is a testament to putting yourself first. And as putting yourself first, so many doors will open. So thank you, Jen. I'm really thankful for that. And also of course, the YouTube videos that provide meditation, chakra guided meditations, and even affirmations. Actually, affirmations have been most powerful in my life in reprogramming my brain and bringing me to a place of more empowerment. You know, a lot of these affirmations are saying stuff like, I am amazing, I am capable, I'm beautiful, I can do anything I put my mind to, I tackle all obstacles with ease. I mean, it's just like all these affirmations and things that are pretty much the opposite of what I think, like on a daily basis, like, oh great, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, but turn it around, right?
Turn it around, make it into a positive. Yes, because there's always that chatter that tells you, you know, that negative chatter. And so, yes, the affirmations, Lauren and I both do those affirmations. As I said, I held my mirror up with the unconditional love. And yeah, and so, yes, we do those on a daily basis. And that's what empowers us. And also that empowers the feminine energy as well. What keeps it in balance with the feminine energy and the masculine energy. So we're not going off, you know, pushed for work and going into ego and worried about money and worried about that, but we're also bringing that self-love in the feminine energy. That's why we're talking about it being in balance. Yeah, it's just an incredible thing. And I just want to say again to Jen, she's writing some things, and I just want to say thank you, because there's no higher and we're so humbled. Gratitude for us. We're so humbled when clients and people you meet come in and how we've changed and helped to transform your world to be or realm to be, you know, as amazing as you are, because Lauren and I are just, we're just here to help you. We give you, we know the magic of you, we know the true core of you and how incredible you are. And for me, it's just, I hand a candle over to you to light that, and you take that candle and you run with it. And when you come back to me and you say, oh, sure, you said this and this and this, and that's incredible, I can't believe it. And let me tell you, it brings, and Lauren has the same with her clients and people she meets. It's just like so heartwarming, and we're very blessed to be able to do what we do, because yeah, but we're just like you as well. So thank you for coming in and saying all those beautiful things. We're very humbled and honored.
We are. And you know how we are just like everyone else is the fact that we've all had traumas. We've all had things that have happened in our lives that have really set us back. And what Cher and I bring to our clients is not only our past experiences, which we can relate to what a lot of our clients are going through because we've been there ourselves. The magic is the work, the hard work that we've already put in ourselves. And we don't want our clients to have to go through years and years of counseling and therapy to get to a higher state of being.
No.
We want to, you know, address what your concerns are. And not only that, give you tips, in-depth tips on how to do these breathing exercises, how to do the Qigong and work with the energy, and how to feel more empowered about yourself. And Cher has a special way of doing that. I think she already brought her boot out, but maybe.
What do you want to bring out? What was that?
Yeah.
The boot. Yes. Oh, yes. Well, from my unconditional love space, I'll get to your core and I'll give you a nice little boot up the bum, as we say. But I do get to your core, but I do it in an unconditional love way. I do find out what's going on, and that's taken through spirit as well. Spirit always tells me what's going on, but I will find out really what's there for you. And hopefully when you leave here, you leave feeling uplifted and empowered, and you go on to your beautiful journey, which is incredible, you know, and for there is the magic of you. And there's, as I said, Lauren and I do the same work, just a little bit different. And for us, there is nothing higher for me as a medium. You know, I just so very humbled and so very blessed to be able to transform people's worlds for their highest good. So you're creating your own magic, you're doing your own thing in your own lives that is that is the magic for us. We're just giving you little tools along the way, whether it be boot up the bum or, you know, I'm going to show you a mirror and ask you to look at yourself every day. Well, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. I'm prepared to do that for you. Let me tell you, I'm the right one for you if you want to boot up the bum.
Yeah.
And Lauren, and Lauren does it so beautifully as well. She doesn't boot up the bum, but she does it a different way. But we do the same craft. We do the same work.
Yeah. Share, you know, you're very gifted at what you do. And I just want to say that the self-improvement work that we do is hard. It is hard work. It is hard work getting in touch with your feelings. And in the practices that I do, the movement of through Qigong and the moving the energy through the body and envisioning color and all sorts of stuff, it's actually really releasing. I will just burst out crying. I'll burst out laughing during these movement exercises. And that is so cathartic. That is so healing. What that is telling us is that our emotions, if we don't fully ride the wave and express it at the time, it's going to sit in our bodies and affect our aura, affect our, you know, everything about us. And so, you know, I like to just help my clients with little tidbits, not to feel like they're overwhelmed with, oh my gosh, I have to do this and have to do this and have to do that. But we can do it in little pieces together. And I just love to hear back from my clients on how this works. And please go visit my website, laurenapplewood.com, to look at the services that I offer and use my contact form if you have any additional questions or you'd like to book a service.
Absolutely. And if you want to check me out, it's sherslatermedium.com. And Lauren and I are both transformational in what we do, and our approach is from our Unconditional Love heart space. And we're very honored to be able to bring that for you and for your highest good, really. So, that's us in a nutshell, isn't it, Lauren? Have you got any? Us in a nutshell.
Well, I wanted to ask if you, because another way for women to feel empowered is through community.
Oh, yeah.
And like-minded community. And I know, like, in the Wicca, witchy world, there's a word for that.
Coven. Are you talking about the covens or the circles?
Or circles, yeah.
Circles, right. Okay, because coven's a different thing. Coven's like, well, you know, it's mainly actually a coven. I'm going to let you, because I bought the coven up for a sister, but for a reason. Your coven is like sisters. So Lauren's in my coven. She's like my sister. So that's all a coven is. But circles, yes, there are many circles out there for men and women, because they're not just it's not just all in women's, but there are many circles out there. And as witches, we do have circles out there that empower women to and men, for that case, if they want to come into our circles, because, as I said, it's a witchy circle. It's not just limited to women, and I do have circles, and they will be coming up in the future as well. And it's just a place, and it's a very safe place. It's also a very sacred space. So if I have circles coming up, it will be by invitation only, because it's such a sacred space. But they are very empowering and transformational, and it's all self-love and also intuition, and you be able to do psychic and things like that. So it is very much that way.
And these little circles of women and community are important for a lot of us women, so that we can feel vulnerable in front of people that are not going to judge us.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's exactly it, Lauren. That's exactly it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And I can't wait to hear more about your circles. I might have to join.
Yeah, you'll be coming. You're like a sister, my darling.
Yeah,
well, you're my sister in America, let's be honest.
That's right. That's right.
Right. All right.
How far apart we are does not.
No, we're sisters. We're sisters together, let me tell you.
Yep.
All right. So if you guys, have you got any more to add, my sweetest heart? Apart from it's a gorgeous evening over there in America.
Yeah, it is. Well, the sun has gone down over here, so I can't wait for the stars to come out. Hopefully it's not too cloudy over here tonight. I really enjoyed sitting out under the stars the other night, and Orion was just like right above me.
Yeah.
And I felt so connected and like was just like, oh my God, look at all this beauty. And the reason that I'm able to do that, to take a moment to accept and recognize the beauty around me, is because I have slowed myself down through these various embodiment practices and mindfulness practices, slowed down enough to be like, oh, wow, I could stop and smell the roses now. And not let it affect, you know, my career, my job, my relationships. It's just a part of me now.
That's the magic, Lauren, you know, and I've done the same, you know, as you know, I've left a position a while ago. And so I'm on this journey now, my spiritual journey now for that. And that's the self-love of us. I also want to bring up, Lauren, we're going to talk about next week, maybe talk about Mabon, because we're in the equinox. So we'll be talking about that next week as well. So stay tuned for that, you guys, a bit of witchiness coming in. Lauren loves a bit of witchiness, let me tell you.
I sure do.
So we'll be talking about that Mabon and the equinox as well, because we're right in the middle of it actually today here in Australia. You guys will be coming in. So we'll be talking about that next week. Otherwise, if you want to check my website out, mine's showslatermedium.com, and Lauren is laurenapplewood.com. Come and check us out, book a session, book a reading with me. We're more than happy to help you. And from our Unconditional Love, thank you again for joining us tonight, and we send our love around the world. All right.
We do. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Good night. Bye.
Good night.
Bye. Bye. Bye.